Congrats on WandaVision, Lindsay. This is a bananas, amazing show. Talk to me a little bit about when this was first presented to you. Did you think this is the best idea ever, or what are you guys smoking? What was your reaction?
I loved the idea. I think the thing that scared me was these characters on television.
So prior to this, like, what were the goals, aspirations, dreams for you? Just like as someone that had a lot of proprietary interest in this character, had like, you'd gotten to play her in a bunch of films, but never kind of like front and center. Were you hoping for a film featuring you and Vision, or what? Where was your head at? Were you just satisfied where you were, or what?
I was really okay with like taking up my little corner in ensemble films. And it didn't really feel like there was like a shift coming. It really felt like Infinity War was like a big moment, and then Endgame I had a big fighting moment, and then I was just kind of like just felt very comfortable. And so I think I was scared to have that kind of moment with the MCU. I found it really intimidating. You put pressure on yourself, and it's intimidating when you know that Marvel has more eyes on their projects than other projects you will have. And so it feels very defining. And so I think it kind of freaked me out a bit, but then I loved the concept, and I truly can't think of another job where I had this much fun. And it was really hard, but like the hard parts have like gone away, and just joy has stayed.
No, but I get what you're saying, because it's like before you're like, you can enjoy kind of like your moments and then be like, oh, it's on Evans, it's on Downey. If this fails, it's not. I mean, guys, I did my.
I'm just kind of here for the ride.
So let's go all the way back. What do you remember about the first time? I assume was there an actual audition to play? There wasn't an audition.
It was tea with Joss.
Amazing. So you had already shot Godzilla by then, you say, yes?
Yeah.
So for those that aren't well-versed in the oeuvre of Lizzie Olsen, you go back prior to Godzilla, and it's Sundance film after Sundance film, these cool indies, and then you dip your toe in with a big one with Godzilla, and then you go all out with these films. I mean, where was your head at then? Because like seemingly you were getting great roles in these smaller films that were getting a lot of critical attention, but like, were you wary, excited, trepidatious about getting into these kinds of ginormous franchise movies at the time?
I think I wanted to really badly. I think I was getting a lot of the parts that were being offered to me were just like women in distress independent films. And I was seeing things get cast, and I was thinking, no, why wasn't I thought of for that? And my agent or manager, I can't remember who, said, well, it's because you're not putting yourself out there for someone who wants to be doing things like that. Right. And so I took like general meetings, and Kevin was one of them, and Legendary, the people who used to run Legendary were another. And so it kind of, you just put it out there, and it worked out that way. And so I wanted it. And then I was like kind of frustrated because it wouldn't allow me time-wise to do other things. But then I've just had to, carve out where I could along the way to plan for other projects.
It's almost like a full circle moment where you're at now, in that like this is like as indie and subversive a Marvel, this is like your indie roots kind of combined, right?
That's how I feel. I feel like we're doing this like really original concept, but with superheroes. And yeah, it does feel indie. It certainly, the speed of filming certainly felt indie. We were racing through this show. It felt like it was never gonna end.
Yeah, well, the first episode you shoot in 2 days. I mean, you took like 3 years to shoot the Avengers movies. There's something to be learned here, guys.
Yeah. And I actually kind of thought the live audience of it with the 50s episode, I kind of thought, this is our first time swinging at this sitcom thing. And if it's not very good, we'll do pickups, and we'll just trust Matt. We'll do pickups. And we like hardly did any pickups.
Amazing.
And so you're just kind of like, well, I guess that's what we're doing. And it was, and it was so fun. And then you felt more ownership moving forward with this sitcom space.
So you mentioned the sitcom stuff, and people that have seen the first couple episodes by the time you watch this, or have seen the trailers. Yes, the first few episodes are inspired by different like iconic iconic sitcoms. You obviously have an unusual perspective on this kind of a thing. You probably visited set, I assume.
All
Did
the time.
you? So what did you have like? Did you enjoy sitcoms the way the rest of us did, or did you knew how the sausage was made? Was it a different kind of a
But I
experience
didn't.
for you?
They
Yeah.
wrapped Full House when I was 6. Like, you
Got
know, my early memories were of this set was just, I remember Fridays they had an audience, um, and I remember like where people's dressing rooms were, and I remember the craft service table, and and I remember selling Girl Scout cookies to the set, and that's really all I have. But you know, I also like watched so much Full House because we had them on VHS, and we
Right.
had one of those minivans that had a TV in it eventually, that, you know, had a little sliding fake wood door in front of it. And I would just watch Full House all the time.
Amazing.
So I loved that show. And I did love sitcoms. I loved the Torkelsons and Step by Step and Family Matters. And then I loved the old ones from watching Nick at Night.
I love that you guys got the opportunity, at least in the few episodes I've seen, to recreate some kind of your own versions of intros. There's some amazing theme songs.
Yeah.
What's the greatest sitcom theme song of all time? What's the one?
Early.
Oh, that's a good one. The whole sequence is amazing.
It's so good.
It's perfection. You've got some new costumes in this series. You've gone through.
And so many wigs.
That's why you got into this business. All the wigs.
Yeah.
Your wig work is impeccable. So what's your relationship with the various costumes of Wanda over the years? Do you have favorites, least favorites? Do you have grudging respect for your costumes or hatred or what?
The whole thing with the pregnant suit was so silly, and it was quite a lot of adjusting all the time. And so people just saw like my legs with Spanx, because you need something, you know, to like not create shaping with this like pregnant belly. And so I just was always like lifting up my stuff on set with this big pregnant belly. And I thought those costumes of the 70s were just so fun. And like you were saying, the opening song and montages, the 70s montage was the last sitcom stuff we got to do. And I had so much fun doing it, and it was I loved being on that bicycle with Paul.
That's your happy place?
Yeah, it really was. It was so much mugging. The camera was like in front of us, and so and he was in front of me, so every time I'd always just be leaning so the camera could see me. No,
yeah, I don't know what it says about you two, that you clearly both are born for this kind of like broad comedy. Like you play it up, and it doesn't feel like this is not in your wheelhouse. This is like you were meant to do this.
It's like our inner child,
yeah,
who just needed so much attention. You know, it's like that. It's like that version of ourselves just screaming.
So we kind of referenced this earlier, but like the sum total of these, was it 9 episodes? Like that is infinitesimally more, you know, character arc and really digging for you as an actor than you got to do in whatever the 6 or 7 films you've already been in. Does it feel like you kind of rediscovered this character in this series?
There is like an incredible amount of like combination of like not recap, but reinvestment and growth that comes from this show with Wanda. And I think I love her more now than I ever have. Like I loved developing her in Ultron. I loved the anger that she like entered with, and the rebellion that she entered the franchise with. And now I'm just like in love with this mama bear kind of woman who's like now taken accountability and has become a woman.
So I assume you remember that we shot a sketch a few years back, you, me, and Aubrey, right? In the sketch, and this is something I wrote, I'll take credit for this, it's before Infinity War came out, you basically ruined the end of Infinity War. You say everybody dies at the end of Infinity War. So this has since become kind of a meme. I get this like thrown at me like, wait, Lizzie Olsen ruined Infinity War a year before Infinity War came out.
But we didn't all die. Half of us disappeared.
Okay, I guess that's accurate. But I guess my question is, do you remember at the time when you read that and said that, like, that's because you must have known at the time when we shot
I do remember that. And I thought that that's what was going on the internet, that people were like, are they all gonna, like, everyone's gonna die or something? And so I was like, everyone dies, you know? Just thinking that I was like being clever, not thinking that like, yes, I disappear and turn to dust. And so also people who turned to dust didn't turn to dust when we filmed it.
Right, they just sort of like froze or what happened?
No, I thought they were still there. They decided later to turn them into dust.
Well, I don't understand what happened on set.
I think they dissolved them just because they had a shot on them, but I don't think not everyone was supposed to dissolve who dissolved.
So somebody
So when I watched, I was like, oh no, I thought they lasted. Like I didn't, you know.
I like to think like they're in the edit room and they're just like, what do you think? Let's get rid of that one. Let's just, you know.
What happened?
How's Wanda doing in Doctor Strange? Are we just gonna see her?
She's doing great.
She's chill. She's like, oh, I'm good. Yeah.
She's like, really good.
I know we can't say much, but I know you started shooting. You're on pause right now because of lockdown. But I'm so curious to see you get to mix it up with Benedict, especially. Yeah. Can you say anything about what the dynamic is between these two characters? I mean,
No, I can't, but we're having a lot of fun. And for me, I don't feel like there's any repetition. I feel like we've really allowed an evolution to happen from WandaVision. And so I'm just really enjoying this kind of rediscovery and just playing with who she is. Yeah. And Sam Raimi's just such a fun person to work with. And when I make him laugh on set, it is like I come home and I'm just like, I did my job. Like I just want to make him laugh all the time.